Hey guys, it's Kelsey, and today I'm so excited because Wendy's released a Girl Scouts Thin Mints Frosty last week, and I love Thin Mints Girl Scout cookies, so I'm super excited to try to make it in the Ninja Slushi. Now, when I first heard about it, I had pictured a green Frosty that of course tasted like chocolate and mint, but it actually is not green and it's not what I expected at all. So let me show you what it looks like. There's actually two. There is a vanilla and a chocolate version. So here is the vanilla version. Here is the chocolate version. And I actually was able to see them make it when I bought these. And so basically there is a Thin Mint cookie sauce, which is what this brown sauce is. And they squirt it in the cup all along the sides, and then they just pour in the Frosty. So this is just a regular chocolate Frosty. This is just a regular vanilla Frosty, but then it's surrounded by this Thin Mint cookie sauce, I guess you would call it. So the whole thing doesn't taste like Thin Mints. I mean, if you were to spoon out in the middle, it would just be like a vanilla Frosty. So while I was going to try and replicate this exactly, I decided I wanted to try my own version because I would much rather have the entire Frosty taste like a Girl Scout Thin Mint cookie. So the recipe that I'm going to show you is not going to look like this. It is going to, well, you'll see what it looks like. But so I just wanted to preface that this isn't a copycat recipe for this version. This is my own take on a Girl Scout cookie Thin Mint Frosty. One more thing, here is the actual sauce that I was talking about, so you can see it. It is a chocolate sauce that has little ground up pieces of the Thin Mint. So it's very minty, it's very crunchy, it's pretty good. And again, that is what they kind of put on the sides of the cup. Now you can buy this for $1 extra. So that's what I did just so I could have it. But I wanted to show that to you anyway. Okay, so now let's get started with the recipe. So for this, you are going to need 4 cups of chocolate milk, a half a container of Cool Whip, and this needs to be thawed, and a half a container is like 4 ounces. 7 ounces of sweetened condensed milk, so that is half a can. And then this is what is going to make it taste minty. This is Torani Creme de Menthe, and you need a half cup of this. And then of course you need Girl Scout cookies. So you're gonna take 10 Girl Scout cookies and you're gonna crush them. I used my blender, but you could use the food processor. You wanna crush them pretty small, but not into like dust. They can have a few like little pieces. And here's a picture of what that looked like before I poured it in. And if you don't have these, because these are a seasonal thing and they're hard to get at times, you can use these. Same thing, just 10, cookies, crush them. I did a taste test between the two just because I had them both, and I used to think these were really good, but they are not nearly as good as these. But these will do, I'm sure, just fine. So again, if you can't find these, you could use these. One other thing, if you can't find these, they now sell a Thin Mint seasoning blend, and it looks just like a little bottle of seasoning, and it's only 6.2 ounces, but it's Thin Mint seasoning blend. So if you can find that, you could use that too. Walmart does sell it, but they've been sold out for a while. Amazon has it. It's $6.99 on Amazon, and I will link that in the description. But I wasn't able to get my hands on any to try it, but I think it would work. So that's an idea. But anyway, all of that stuff you're going to put in a bowl, you're going to stir it, and I have done that. So when you are finished, it's going to look like this. Oh, I don't want to spill it. But you can see the little pieces of Girl Scout cookies in there. So now I just need to pour it in the machine. Oh. Okay, so I poured it in. Some of the cookies kind of get caught up here, but you can just kind of help them get down there. And that should be good enough. And power on your machine. We're gonna go to the milkshake setting, and then you're gonna do +1. So that is 1, 2, 3, 6 bars for that. And anyway, I will be back when it is finished. Okay, so before I dispense this, I had it set to 6 bars. It beeped at 6 bars, and it was definitely not the consistency of a Frosty. So I bumped it up to 8, and it is better now. It's strange because I made this one other time and I used a different chocolate milk, and I added more of the Torani this time because this chocolate milk that I used, I seem to need more Torani. Okay, so this is my conclusion. Depending on the chocolate milk that you use will affect how much of the Torani that you need to use. And so you really need, I would just add a few tablespoons at a time, taste it to figure out how much of the Torani you want to use. The more Torani you want to use, it kind of throws off the consistency. So that is my advice. Initially for this, I added a ½ cup. If I were you, I would mix all your ingredients together and then add like 2 tablespoons of the Torani, add 3, add 4, and just taste it and see if it is the mint taste that you want. Because the chocolate milk, depending on how chocolate the chocolate milk is, it will kind of mask the mint. So I hope that makes sense. But I've learned that with the slushie, like every ingredient, if you switch out your ingredients, it can throw off the rest. It can throw off the whole thing if you just switch out to a new brand or something like that. So anyway, again, I hope that all makes sense. But for this one in particular, I went all the way to 8. But anyway, let's see what it looks like. Okay. Woo. Okay, there it is, and you can still see the cookie pieces in it. Let me grab a spoon. Okay. It's very good. It's very minty. I can taste the cookie pieces. To me, it tastes pretty much exactly like a Girl Scouts Thin Mints cookie. Take another bite. Yes, it is very, very, very good. So I'm very happy with that. Again, I do want to caution you on the chocolate milk that you choose to use and how much of the Torani you choose to use. I really recommend that you put the Torani in last and just add a few tablespoons at a time until you get it to the taste that you want, because adding too much of that Torani is gonna really throw off the consistency of the Frosty. So that is what I have learned. The taste is awesome. I'm really happy with it. And being honest, I prefer this to the version that Wendy's has right now, just because I would prefer to have it all taste like a Thin Mint instead of just have that Thin Mint chocolate sauce. All right, so that is today's video. Before I leave, I wanted to bring up something that I just realized right now, and that is that these are actually called Thin Mints cookie. The Wendy's Frosty is called a Thin Mints Frosty. I've been calling it Thin Mint my whole life. So I don't know if it's a regional thing or it's a me thing, or do you guys call it Thin Mint or do you call it Thin Mints? I'm really curious. I was not a Girl Scout, so I never learned the proper way, but I'm really curious. Do you guys say Thin Mint or Thin Mints? You can put that in the comments. Also, of course, any questions that you have about the recipe, I will try and help you with that. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.